What's up everybody, it's Bald Guy Ace, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what you should do step by step in order to enchant your sword with all of the best enchantments using crafting recipes. First, I want to give a shout out to Antonio67108864 for posting a very detailed guide of how to do this on the forums. So what I have right here is a clean aspect of the dragons. Clean means that it doesn't have any enchants on it right now. And I am going to go through and I'm going to put 16 enchants onto this sword. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that in the best way so that you end up using the least amount of experience possible. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is actually unlock all of the collections that you need to unlock in order to craft the various enchantments that you need. So I'm going to go through and list off the 16 enchantments that you want on your sword and which collections you have to unlock in order to actually craft the recipes. Alright, so in the farming collection, you want to unlock Pumpkin 5 to get Cubism. You also want to unlock Rabbit 5 to get Luck. In the mining collection, you want to unlock Gold 3 to get Looting. You also want to unlock Gold 6 to get Scavenger. You want to unlock Diamond 2 to get Execute. And then you also want to unlock Diamond 5 to get Critical. You want to unlock Lapis Lazuli 3 to get Experience. You want to unlock Obsidian 2 to get Lethality. And lastly, in mining, you want to unlock Gravel 4 to get Sharpness. And you also want to unlock Gravel 6 to get First Strike. Moving on to combat, we want to actually unlock Ender Pearl 3 to get Ender Slayer. And we also want to unlock Ghast 3 to get Giant Killer, as well as Ghast 5 to get Vampirism. Lastly, in fishing, we want to unlock Prismarine Shard level 1, and that is to get Impaling. And so the 15th recipe that you want to craft is Lifesteal, and that actually comes without a collection, so you don't have to worry about unlocking anything for that. And the 16th enchantment that you want to put on your sword is Telekinesis, and that one you can get from Rusty, who's in the gold mine, for 100 coins. So we're just going to do that at the very end. So there's actually 6 enchantments that you don't want to put on your sword. That's do not want to put on your sword, and that is Bane of Arthropods, Smite, Cleave, Venomous, Fire Aspect, and Knockback. You don't want to put those on your sword. There's various reasons why you don't want them. Some of them mess with other enchantments that you need to work, and other ones just do skills that you don't want to happen. And so either way, just make sure you don't put those 6 enchantments on your sword. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to this double chest I have right here, and these are all the items that you need in order to craft those 15 enchantments that I just mentioned. This is 516 paper, which is 8 stacks, plus 4 paper, 64 pumpkins, 8 gold blocks, 2 golden swords, 16 rabbit hides, 4 lapis lazulis, 16 enchanted ender pearls, 8 enchanted flint, 40 prismarine shards, 16 regular ghast tears, 4 enchanted golden apples, and in order to make 4 enchanted golden apples, you need 32 golden blocks surrounding 4 apples. You need 16 enchanted ghast tears, 48 obsidian, 96 regular flint, 80 regular diamond, 16 enchanted diamond, and 2 iron swords. Once you get all these items, you're then ready to craft those 15 enchantments that we just went over. And so what you want to do is craft each of these enchantments twice, because each of the enchantments that you're able to unlock in your collection is actually one level lower than what you actually want to put on the sword. And so what we're going to do now is craft each of these books twice. Okay, so Cubism 4 is actually 8 paper all around, 32 pumpkins, but because we want 2 books, we're going to double it. And so here we go, we got 1 and 2. In order to make 2 Luck 4 books, you want to have 16 papers surrounding 16 rabbit hides, and that'll make 2 books, so there we go. We want to make 2 Looting 2 books, and that's 3 sets of 4 papers surrounding 8 blocks of gold, and that'll make 2 books, so we go 1, 2. Alright, in order to make 1 Scavenger 2 book, we would want 3 sets of 2 pieces of paper each around a golden sword, but that'll only make 1, and so then we want to put another golden sword in there, and that'll make a 2nd Scavenger 2 book. Alright, in order to make 1 Execute 4 book, we want 40 flint in the upper left corner here, 40 diamonds in the bottom right corner, and then surrounded by 3 sets of 8 paper each. That'll just make 1 book, so we're going to do that now. And then you just want to do it all again, and that'll make us our 2nd Execute 4 book. In order to make a critical 4 book, you want to have 3 sets of 8 paper each around 8 enchanted diamonds, but since we're going to make 2, we put double in there, and then we go 1, 2. To make an experience 2 book, you want 3 sets of 2 pieces of paper around 2 lapis lazulis, but we actually want to make 2 books, so of course that's 4 around 4, so there we go, 1, 2. In order to make 2 books of lethality 4, you want to have 3 sets of 16 papers each, around 48 obsidian, and that'll craft 2 books of lethality. In order to make 2 books of sharpness, you want to have 16 flint in the upper left corner, and then 3 sets of 16 papers surrounding an iron sword. And after we make 1 book, we'll have to, of course, put the other iron sword in there, and then we can make the second book. Okay, to make 2 books of first strike, you want to have 3 sets of 8 papers surrounding 8 enchanted flint. So here we go, 1, 2. In order to make 2 Ender Slayer books, you want to have 3 sets of 16 papers surrounding 16 enchanted ender pearls. So here we go, 1, 2. Okay, to make 2 giant killer books, you want to have 3 sets of 8 papers surrounding 16 regular ghast tears. Oh, I'm sorry, you actually wanted 3 sets of 8 paper for just one of the books, so I had to add another 3 sets of 8 paper in order to make the second book. So to make 2 vampirism books, you want to have 3 sets of 16 papers surrounding 16 enchanted ghast tears, and that'll make 2 books, 1, 2. To make 2 copies of Impaling, you want to have 3 sets of 4 paper surrounding 40 prismarine shards, 1, 2. And last but not least, to make 2 lifesteal books, you want to have 3 sets of 4 papers surrounding 4 enchanted golden apples. And there we go. So just like that, we now have every book that we need in order to fully enchant our sword with all of the enchants that we need, with the exception of telekinesis, which we will get later from Rusty in the gold mines. So the next step is to warp to the hub, and you want to travel straight ahead here to go to the blacksmith area. And when you're in the blacksmith area, you want to go over here to the anvil. And in the anvil, we want to combine each of the books that are the same so that they can go 1 level higher. So basically, we want to combine the Cubism 4 book with the other Cubism 4 book, which will get us a Cubism 5. So combining each of the duplicate books together, you'll see will end up being either 12 experience levels or 6 experience levels. And one of the sets is actually 3 experience levels. So I'm just going to go ahead and combine each of these books into their 1 level higher book. And then I'll get right back to you guys. By the way, guys, we're back on my island, and I just want to say, even though this method does end up using the least amount of experience, you're still going to need to actually end up grinding for some experience. So what I chose to do is actually use all of my minion slots for emerald minions. That way I could grind experience pretty fast. Diamond minions might be a little bit better, but my diamond collection was already maxed out. My emerald collection was not maxed out, so I figured that I would make emerald. That way I would end up getting my experience, but also helping my collections as well. Although you could make grand experience potions with the lapis lazuli collection, I feel that it's easy enough to just mine. As you see here, I am actually down to level 1 experience, but as I mine, it's going up super fast because the way experience works is it's actually exponential. As you do get higher up in levels of enchanting experience, it does get harder and harder to get more, and this is why it's better to enchant in such a way that it keeps your enchanting levels required as low as possible. And so that way we only have to get up to about 40 or 50 at the highest. By the way, I should note that if you don't actually want to grind experience from your farm on your island, you could actually just come to the librarian here. The librarian is actually just south of the bank, and you can go here and you can buy actually 64 experience bottles for just 1920 coins. So if you have a lot of coins, this might actually be the easiest option for you, especially if you don't have any lapis lazuli to craft grand experience bottles. But if you have the patience to grind your emerald or diamond minions, you could do that as well. So either one, it's basically up to you. So while you're duplicating these books, since you know that the most you'll need is 12 experience levels at any one time, so the easiest way would probably be to stop at like 12 or 24 because that won't take that long at all. And then you can continue to do this until you actually require a higher level of experience, because it takes exponentially longer to grind a higher level of experience out. So if you don't actually need it, better to do it in short bursts. Alright, so now that you have all these books combined into their higher level, now is where you get into the strategy of combining the books in such a way that you end up using as little experience as possible. Thanks to the player called Perfect Armor, we actually have a really good method that uses very little experience. So by using this method, at no point will you actually need more than 48 levels of experience at the same time. So this makes it far easier to just grind your experience, or to even use just a smaller amount of experience bottles. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is combine your Ender Slayer 5 book with your Sharpness 5 book. And this will cost only 12 experience levels, and so boom, there you go. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is take the book that you just made that has Ender Slayer and Sharpness on it, and you want to combine that with Cubism. And it's important actually that you have these books in the correct sides of the anvil, otherwise it'll mess up how much experience you actually need. So for this we want Cubism on the left, and we want the book with Ender Slayer and Sharpness on the right. And then we want to combine this, And now we have one book completely done. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be combining these into 4 total books, and then we're going to put those books one by one onto our aspect of the dragon sword. Okay, so you want to combine Execute 5 on the left with Lethality 5 on the right, and that'll cost 12 experience levels. By the way, guys, I got bored during this, and I decided to just buy a bunch of experience potions from the librarian. They're only 1,920 coins each for each stack of 64, and as long as you use them when you have lower experience, they give you a decent amount. So I'm just going to break a bunch of these on the floor so that I can get the required levels that I need. So now you want to put that book you just got with Execute and Lethality on the right side, and then on the left side you want to put Looting, and that should combine for a total of 25 experience levels. Okay, then you want to put that book with the Execute, Lethality, and Looting on the right side. And on the left side, you want Scavenger 3, and that will combine for 34 experience levels. Now you have your second book complete. So you can put that over here on the side. Alrighty, so now you want to combine Vampirism 5 on the left with Giant Killer 5 on the right, and that'll cost you 12 experience levels to combine. Then you want to take that book of Giant Killer and Vampirism and put it on the right side, and then on the left side, you want to put Experience 3, and that will combine for a total of 25 experience levels. Okay, you want to put that book with Experience, Giant Killer, and Vampirism on the right, and then you want to put Impaling 3 on the left, and you can combine those into the third book for 34 experience levels. Now you're done with this book. Okay, so then you want to combine Critical 5 on the left with Luck 5 on the right, and that'll cost you 12 experience levels. And then you want to actually combine First Strike 4 on the left with Lifesteal 3 on the right, and that'll only cost 9 experience levels. And last but not least, you want to combine the 2 books you just made, Critical 5 and Luck 5 on the left, with First Strike 4 and Lifesteal 3 on the right, and that'll cost you 21 experience levels. And now you actually have your 4th and final book. So now all we have to do is add these books onto our aspect of the dragon sword. Okay, so the first book that you want to combine with your sword is the book that has Cubism 5, Enderslayer 5, and Sharpness 5 on it. That's because those are the most expensive skills, so you want to start with them first. And this will cost you 48 experience levels, but don't worry, this is the highest amount you will need, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. Boom, there we go, so our sword is starting to be enchanted. Okay, so the next book that we want to put onto this sword is Execute 5, Lethality 5, Looting 3, and Scavenger 3. And make sure that this book is on the right side of the anvil. And then here we go, we can combine this for 43 experience levels. So our sword is starting to get all enchanted. This is pretty cool, guys. Okay, and the third book that you want to put onto your sword is the one with Experience 3, Giant Killer 5, Impaling 3, and Vampirism 5. And that'll cost you 43 experience levels to do that, and so here we go. Alrighty, look at that. Looking nice, looking nice. We only need one more book to put onto this sword. And the last book that you want to put onto your sword is the one that has Critical 5, First Strike 4, Lifesteal 3, and Luck 5. And putting this onto your sword will be another 48 experience levels. And so as you see here, we actually never needed any enchantments to be added to the sword that cost more than 48 experience levels. We never went over 50, and so that is pretty awesome, guys, because it gets exponentially harder to get experience once you get higher up in the levels needed. So here we go, guys. We're going to put this last book onto the sword in 3, 2, 1. Boom, there it is. Look at that. We now have 15 different enchants on this sword. But we are not done yet. There's one final enchant we have to put on it, and that is Telekinesis, which we can get in the gold mine from Rusty for just 100 coins. So I'm going to go there right now. Alright, guys, so I'm in the gold mine. I'm running up here. I'm going to Rusty. Here we go. Clicking Rusty. Putting my sword in here. And for just 100 coins, I can add Telekinesis. Boom, I added Telekinesis on here. And look at that, guys. We now have a fully enchanted aspect of the dragons with all of the correct enchants on it. And we did it without ever having to spend more than 48 experience levels at any one time. That made it super easy to actually gain the experience needed in order to enchant this sword. Alright, guys, so I really hope this video helped you out and you were able to get your sword fully enchanted so that you have the perfect enchants for fighting all the different monsters around Hypixel Skyblock. If this video did help you out, it'd be really awesome if you could leave me a like and also comment down below letting me know if you have your sword perfectly enchanted. Also, as always, if you're not already subscribed to me, it really helps if you subscribe to my channel. YouTube actually showed me that apparently 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you were to subscribe, you'd be one of the few 10% to subscribe, so that would be pretty awesome actually if you could do that and help me out. Thanks again guys for watching. I'm going to end the video here, but don't worry, I'm going to continue to post future guides and future tips on how to make money in Hypixel Skyblock, so you want to stay tuned for that. But until my next video, I'm Bald Guy Ace, reminding you to embrace the baldness.